Hi there, Bob here. I'm one of the 3D and texturing artists at Missing Worlds Media. Let me shrink some of this. We've been working on a variety of assets. One of the examples we have is our one of our tech type helmets. This was worked up in 2D from some sketches and some further drawings and color drawings given to our 3D people, who created a high-res mesh and then a low-res mesh, and that was given to me, the data from it, and I brought it into a texturing program, created this set of textures. It's a series of maps that will make this look like a slightly battered gold helmet, as an example, and we liked how it came out, so I created a red, green, and blue masking map based loosely on what we had worked, and that looks something like this. I usually use black for skin areas or the furthest back. Red is usually my primary area on the costume or on the helmet in this case, and green is my secondary, like the earpieces, and there's a little wire in here, so blue is usually my detail color for a mask. This makes it very easy to mask these areas out and apply different materials to each area on the same costume item. Then I went and brought it here into the engine and created a helmet using the red, green, and blue masking method and a material that I had worked up to create something along the same lines, just to make sure it worked and it looked okay, and I kind of like that. And I did an alternate version because this version looked a little on the dirty, battered side, and that's due to a coloring map and a normal map which creates bumps, and this one here on the right hand side is the exact same bump and normal map and color map. The only thing I've done is I've changed the tiling to really elongate it and narrow it down, so now it looks like kind of a brushed or grooved metal look, which I actually really liked. Then I realized I had never added my Immersive, which is the light generation feature in the material. So I had to go back into my material and do some modifications, and that allowed me to give a glowing blue visor. And if I crank this up even higher, I could blow out the screen with how bright it can get. And if you check the right box, you can even have it light up a scene, but I doubt that will be allowable for player characters because it's a little computationally expensive. That's a big word, eh? Anyway, I liked it. I liked the way the helmet was going, so I thought, let's try and make a variation. So I thought, let's make one that looks really used, really battered, beaten, and all of these regions can get a black and white map that allows us to define the colors, black, white, grays. So like in this case, I have kind of a purpley blue paint color and a rust red color added to the map, and that same map defines where the roughness is. So I have a fairly smooth paint surface and really rough rust map areas, And then I can apply a very similar map that allows me to determine how metallic things are. So the rust area is not very metallic, but the paint is really quite shiny and reflects the surroundings and picks up the color. And these other areas are defined similarly. Sorry, I'm inside the helmet there. But one of these days I'm going to program this to move the same way City of Heroes did for me, so that flying around will be a little more useful. Then I created a sleek version. I actually made a video of that, and it was extremely long and extremely boring. But I like the way the helmet came out. Basically another variation, a different set of maps. And anyway, in this case I used a black and white map that defined where the coloring goes on the helmet regions, and the different set of maps that don't match up the way the rust one did for the roughness. So it would look like it, it's a helmet. It looks pretty new and shiny, but it's been around a little bit. And then I thought I would show off making a helmet here tonight, but I found I was fiddling around a lot. So I've started in on this already in a way that I can show off. I dragged out a red, green, blue helmet, and this has a red, green, blue mask for these regions. Now let me drop out of the immersive mode here so I can bring up my material. If I can figure out where my material went. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can do this without doing a ton of extra housekeeping. This has black applied to the visor, and I'm going to try and go through this quickly. Let me turn Immersive on for black. Okay, good. That ignore some of these things. It's resetting. I turned a lot of things off to make it able to go faster here. I'm using a coloring map, and that coloring map is basically a black and white star, and it applies a black color in one area and a white color in another area, and then I add a glow to that. So let me turn on a bunch of the things related to black. Originally I was going to do a video where I actually made the thing, and I spent so much time moving back and forth I thought everyone would be bored. So what I did is I took the star pattern, let's see if I can move in a way that doesn't make everyone seasick. Okay, took the star pattern and I tiled it a whole lot. So let me basically fill up the screen, or the visor screen, and let's see, it's not completely obvious, but the stars are actually kind of metallic looking. This field behind is black, but I have an emissive glow, which is a light generating surface, and it applies to everywhere that's not a star. And I did check the right box. Okay. The helmet itself is a red area, so let me go down to my red areas. Let me click the coloring map. I applied a black and white map, which looks like and I forgot to tell it not it's one of these maps here. And I drag that up into my red area. Now I can't guarantee any of this will end up in the costume creator in this exact manner, but my plan is to have a whole selection of different maps. I can show you a little bit about what the black and white map does here on the helmet. I dragged up this one, my pattern 4, and it puts one color on this visor area, the front area, and then the back of the helmet, and that crest, and this little line under the visor is in black. If I were to drag the other pattern, I don't know how fast this will update. Okay, it updated pretty fast. You can see that it changes where my coloring pattern is. So let me put it back. Let's turn on the roughness and the metallic. And for these, I actually am using some maps that are designed around bronze. So let me turn everything on. Let's not turn the blue on yet. There's my red mask, red metallics, okay. And in this case I have no tiling for that. There is a very subtle, it might be easier to see on the red area. There's a subtle variation in the roughness and in the bumps, and you can probably see it right where that shine is here. So it really makes it look a lot like it's painted. I like that look. In this case I'm actually going for kind of a patriotic helmet, with 4th of July almost here, for me anyway. So let me move along. The earpieces were the green material. So let me go up to the green material and activate coloring map for that. And the roughness and the metallic map. And green also basically gets no tiling to speak of. This is actually using the green map is using this one, and it puts a pattern with a red where the earpiece is broken up into the red and the blue. Let's see here. Can I show the underside? I guess I'm having trouble moving around. Problem with recording while you're trying to run this is my little desktop isn't always up to the task. So anyway, let me move away from there. And let's see, black mask, red mask, green mask. Okay, and that leaves us just the blue mask, which covers the wire. So let me go up and turn all the blue stuff on. I have a blue mask. And for this, I'm using a coloring map, a little Missing World Media logo. I thought it'd be good to have that on the wire. It's just a single image, so in order to get it on something as small as this wire, I have to tile it a great deal. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Okay. Let me go to Immersive. It's a little easier to move around with. There we go. Yeah, I'm still inside it a little bit. Anyway, you can see it's printed a little MWM on the wire. And I've got kind of a rubbery sort of roughness and a rubbery image. Actually, no, I set my own amount there. So I did put a normal map, which is a little bit of a plastic bump for that wire. And that is more or less what I've done. Hopefully this is slightly shorter than my previous attempt at a video. Alright, I don't like that. There we go. So let's see if I can get in here a little bit and show off what it looks like. A little bit of a patriotic design, just as an example of what can be done with the engine. And if I attach a whole series of maps to something selectable in the user interface for characters, they should be able to go, hey, alright, I want this helmet, I want this coloring map in that area, I want, and we may have this set up on a simple mode and an advanced mode, where you go, you know what, I want gold metal, or I want rusty metal, or I want denim fabric, or whatever, and just say, okay, this helmet, give me shiny metal, make the visor glass, you know, make the wire a wire, and make the earpiece the same shiny metal. Boom, boom, change the color. Alright, I'm off. Or we maybe have it where you can dive down and you go, that's great, I want shiny metal, but I want to change this, or I want to change that. I can't promise anything, but and we need to see how heavy this is when you get a bunch of characters trying to run around. So, hope you enjoyed this. A little look at the material process. And this is Bob out. Bye.